The crash of a $200 champagne bottle on the tiled floor should have been the worst sound of the afternoon. It wasn't. What froze me was the wild look in my sister Vivian's eyes. She stared at my black wheelchair as if it were an insult crafted just for her. Around us, Rosemere Gardens bloomed in soft pinks and pale greens, every arch wrapped in ribbons, every table arranged for the engagement party she had planned like a royal coronation. I had followed the dress code, too. My blush silk dress skimmed over my useless legs, and I had even curled my hair. But my chair was still black, and in Vivian's perfect world, black meant ruin. I had arrived hoping for peace. Foolishly, I still believed my sister might remember how to be kind. I even brought her a gift. A pair of vintage pearl earrings chosen because years ago, she'd once whispered that pearls made her think of our grandmother. She opened the box, frowned, and dropped it onto a table as if it were trash. Then her gaze fell to my chair. "What is that?" she hissed. "My wheelchair," I said, confused. She leaned closer, breath sharp with champagne. "It looks like a stain on my photos." She returned carrying a white tablecloth. Without warning, she tried to drape it over my lap and wheels like I was furniture that needed concealing. I grabbed the cloth and pushed it back. The smile vanished. The fury underneath it did not. For the next hour, Vivian floated through the garden like the queen of a painted kingdom, smiling for guests while quietly poisoning them against me. I saw the glances, the whispers, the careful way people avoided asking direct questions. She had always been skilled at turning cruelty into performance. When the photographer arrived, she clapped her hands and called everyone together for family pictures. I considered staying back, but her eyes locked on me from across the lawn. I rolled forward slowly. Family formed a neat row near a platform covered in pies and crystal. At the far end sat a pink banquet chair with a straight back and no support, the kind of chair I could not use safely. My injury had taken more than my legs. With no core control, sitting upright without support was a gamble. Gravity usually won. Vivian smiled for the audience. "Move the wheelchair and sit there. I want the photo to look uniform." "You know I can't," I said quietly. "I'll fall." Her smile stayed fixed. She bent toward me and whispered, "You ruin everything." Before I could react, she grabbed under my arm and yanked upward. The movement was sudden, violent, impossible to counter. My hands clawed for the armrests and caught nothing. Vivian stumbled backward on the hem of her own dress, let go, and I pitched forward with all the dead weight of a body that could not save itself. I slammed into the champagne tower. Crystal exploded. Glass sliced my hands, my face. My shoulder hit the tile. Blood and sparkling wine spread together across the white floor. I lay there stunned, unable to move while the garden went silent. Then Vivian's voice rang out, horrified, but not for me. "My dress," she cried. "You ruined my party." I lay in broken glass, afraid to turn my head. Blood ran warmly against my skin around me. No one moved. Then a woman's voice cut through the silence. "Don't touch her, keep still." She dropped her handbag, knelt beside me, and stabilized my neck with calm, practiced hands. Even through the blur of pain, I knew her face. Dr. Eleanor Vale. 2 years earlier, after the car wreck that shattered my spine, she had been the neurosurgeon who fought to save me. She'd seen the scans, repaired what she could, and told me the truth no one else dared say plainly. Now she looked at me again, and recognition flashed in her eyes. "You're safe," she said. Then, without looking up, she called to Adrian, Vivian's fiancé. "Call 911, police and ambulance. This is an assault." It was an accident. Dr. Vale's expression turned to ice. "I know this patient's injuries better than anyone in this garden. I rebuilt her spine myself." A murmur rippled through the guests. The lies Vivian had whispered all afternoon about me exaggerating, pretending, wanting attention collapsed in an instant. Adrian stood frozen, sick with realization. An older guest stepped forward and said clearly that he had seen everything. Both hands, the hard pull, the deliberate shove. By the time the paramedics arrived, the truth had already changed the air. As they lifted me onto the stretcher, I saw Vivian for the last time that day. Dress stained, face cracked open with panic, perfection gone. Police moved toward her while guests stepped away. For the first time in years, I felt something stronger than pain, not revenge, relief. Because lying there in the wreckage with blood on the tiles and Dr. Vale beside me, I finally understood one thing. I was no longer alone and Vivian was no longer untouchable.